A well-known Avenger is wrongfully incarcerated and has an identity crisis, and I introduce a new segment on the show that I think you guys will really enjoy. This and more with Play and Tell. So welcome back, guys, to another episode of Play and Tell. I'm your host, Xander Skullion, where I talk about games I've been playing and share little first impressions, little mini reviews, and most importantly, when you walk away, you have something new to play. Now, the first game I want to talk about is a game I've been really enjoying, and that is Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. Now, if you notice, this is an alternate cover. Thanks to the folks at NIS of America for being such awesome publishers, you get an alternate cover, you get a little instruction booklet, you get a brochure for Ys merchandise, and also a downloadable code for a bunch of various music. And what do I think about Ys 9? Now, I really enjoyed Ys 8. I thought it was a fantastic title, and Ys 9 is a whole nother beast. Now, the story itself is you're playing as Adol and Dogi, you're going on your adventures, you go to a town, Adol ends up getting wrongfully incarcerated and gets thrown into this crazy political drama, but also he is cursed by this mysterious woman and becomes a monstrum. What is a monstrum? Monstrum are pretty much like this motley crew of people who fight these monsters that normal villagers cannot see. And they're pretty much trying to keep these monsters in another dimension. That right there is such an interesting story, because you start to find out the secret identities of the monstrums as they join your party, as the story progresses. And you know, one of the things that most people will notice about Ys 9 is the atmosphere is very bland. It's a very bland looking game because you're in a town most of the time so far from what I've been playing. As you slowly progress and you start to open more portals and more ways to get out of the town, I feel like the game will really start to blossom. But the story itself, I absolutely love it. I feel like it's got so many references and love letter to Ys fans, but at the same time, just like any other Ys game, you could pick up this game and play it without playing any of the previous titles and not feel lost. If you know a little bit about the lore with Adol and his adventures, you'll definitely enjoy some of the Easter eggs. But just, if this was your first Ys game, I think you would be all right. I would actually recommend this to newcomers to the Ys series. And this game is also made for adults. Now, what do I mean by that is I mean that this game you will never feel lost, okay? You can put this game down for a couple months, pick it back up. They keep records of all the dialogue, all the journal entries, the navigation. There is no sense of lost to this game, and I wish more games did that. And what can I say? If you are a huge fan of hack and slash action RPGs and you love like some crazy awesome metal, you know, video game music, Ys 9 is definitely something to check out.
Hold fast a while longer!
Now, of course, what I mentioned in the previous episode, I talked about the NVIDIA Shield. I've been still really enjoying that little Android box, and I cannot recommend it enough for folks that really want to dive into some easy plug-and-play emulation. One of the things I've been really enjoying with NVIDIA Shield, though, is the PSP emulator. I've been playing Outrun 2006 coast to coast, and you guys are seeing the footage right here. And what can I say? The game looks really, really good. It's hard to believe that this is a PSP title running on a 4K television, up-res, running beautifully with like buttery smooth frame rate. And I've always loved the Outrun series. It's one of my favorite arcade racers, and I have never had a chance to play Outrun 2006 because it's been more of an expensive title on consoles. And as a matter of fact, the PSP version is actually the cheaper alternative. And now playing it through emulation, I've been really enjoying it. It's everything I love about the series, and one of the extra modes they add to it that I really enjoyed was like this girlfriend mode. I think it's called like Heart Attack, where, you know, you're racing with your girlfriend in your sports car, and she has like certain objectives that she wants you to do, like, you know, pass cars or drift or go past your rival, race to the finish, and every time you do it, you're graded with like hearts and kisses. It's very, very hokey, but it keeps that adrenaline running. And hearing like familiar Outrun tunes that I remember from my youth completely redone, this game just gave me feels. I really, really love this title.
Checkpoint. Keep tapping hard. Let's start.
Now, one of my all-time favorite games on the PSP, and I just really had to talk about in this video, is Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles. Now, this case may look a little weird, and that's because this is actually a promotion case. You know, when I used to work at Babbage's years ago, and the game was coming out, this was what was setting up for people to put on their pre-orders and to kind of advertise that the game was coming. And this was a very special game at the time. It actually made me want to go and buy a PSP because this is a way that Americans could play Rondo of Blood at that time, and it was completely redone. You could unlock the original Rondo of Blood, and you could also unlock Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but it's got some different voice acting, and I'm not really a big fan. I like the cheesy voice acting from the original PlayStation version. But playing this on the NVIDIA Shield really just made my jaw drop and made me realize that Konami could make an easy $40 off of me if they were to re-release this on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. The way this game looks, it could look just as good, if not better, on the Nintendo Switch. I guess Konami just doesn't like money. They don't like money from console players, I should say. But yes, Dracula X Chronicles, if you're a big Castlevania fan, Halloween's right around the corner. Go out and play this game, whether it's through emulation, getting it on the PSP. I believe it's still pretty affordable, but yes, this is definitely a game to check out. Now I have two more games to talk about, but before I get into it, there is a new segment I want to introduce on Play and Tell. One of the things I love about this show is I get to talk about games I'm playing and recommend games for you guys, but also I enjoy it when I get comments of people telling me what they've been playing, and I want to add that to a whole nother level. I want to level up that concept with a little segment called Play and Share. Now, what is Play and Share? Play and Share is going to be a segment where I get recommendations from viewers like you, whether it's through video or audio. It doesn't matter. You can email me at excessgamingpodcast@gmail.com, and you can send me an audio file or a video. If you don't want to edit, that's fine. I'm already editing anyway. I'll be glad to edit the video and put in gameplay footage or whatnot, but I think this would be a great way for not only people to see gaming recommendations, but also to grow the community as well, because this would be a great way for us to share our channels and just watch each other's content and grow within the, outer rims of YouTube. Now, one of the main reasons why I got the NVIDIA Shield was, of course, Sega Saturn emulation. I've been diving into the import section of Sega Saturn, and I found this game that it's probably one of the most strangest but coolest games I've played in quite some time. You guys know I love my ninja games. I like my 2D ninja side-scrollers, and this one right here is called Tarumaru. It was never released in the States. It was actually put out by Time Warner, and it's a 2D, 3D polygon background ninja side-scroller where you're playing as two psychic ninjas. What makes this really interesting is the control style, which I'm really bad at, because you don't really have a direct attack button. You actually have a cursor that when you get close enough to an enemy, the cursor aims on that enemy and you just fire away. It's a very interesting concept. I really suck at it, but that's okay because the game gives you plenty of continues. But this game itself, being set in feudal Japan in this like mystical world with this very haunting soundtrack, it really has an atmosphere to it, and it is so weird. There is this one part where I was battling a boss. I want to show you right here. I was battling a boss, and I thought it was just a woman and her like child. This woman kills the child and all of a sudden turns into a ninja woman, and she's on a giant snake. And then before I know it, I'm on a boat fighting flying ninjas, and there's like a skeleton kaiju in the background with people running for their lives in a distant village. This game is just absolutely bonkers. It is crazy, but it's so much fun. And it's a shame that it never came out to the States, and it's also a shame that this is a more expensive game to play if you want to collect it physically. But thankfully, with emulation and the NVIDIA Shield, I can play this game with no problem whatsoever, other than my poor gaming skills. And the last game I want to talk about is actually on the Sega Dreamcast, and that is Under Defeat. Now this is actually a burnt copy because this was a Japanese only title, I believe. And you know, as much as I enjoy playing this on my original Sega Dreamcast, actually right over there, I've been playing Dreamcast using the Redream emulator on the NVIDIA Shield, and it looks amazing. You guys are seeing the footage right here, and Under Defeat is a very interesting game. It's almost like 1945 on like caffeine. It's got just that crazy psycho shooter kind of bullet hell aspect to it, but you're playing as these two female pilots and you're riding a helicopter. I don't know much about the story because it is all in Japanese, but it's easy to pick up and play. And you know, playing it on the Redream emulator and seeing it in full HD, it just plays so freaking well. I'm actually been using a Xbox 360 arcade stick from Hori. Been using that on my Dreamcast emulator and playing some of those shooters and fighting games, and it's truly a dream come true. But anyway guys, those are some games I've been playing. What have you been playing? Leave a comment below. I love to hear some of your thoughts, and then also opinions if you've played some of the games I mentioned in this video. And a matter of fact, if you want, be sure to email us at xsgamingpodcast@gmail.com to submit your play and share video or audio file to be featured on a future episode. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, but also hit that bell so you're notified on all future videos that come out on this channel. Anyway guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.